Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of the Dark Rites of Arkham, where we've just had a conversation with this charming gentleman, Benjamin Marsh, someone from Innsmouth, which if anyone's read some of H.P. Lovecraft's work will know. Yeah, they have some interesting origins, shall we say. Let's have a little look around this place though first, I think, before we move on elsewhere. Several pictures are covered with seaweed and mollusks. Have you thought about cleaning them? You can make a few extra bucks for that.
And not for sale. Hey, you've no right to go in there.
Sorry, I'm a detective. Professional habit.
I don't like snoops, understand? Anything on the counter catch your eye? The cash register, perhaps? I know what a cop earns, so stay away from it.
Portrait. I see a certain resemblance to you. Is he a relative of yours?
Captain Obed Marsh. Great expeditionary, the man behind Innsmouth's fat cheers.
Oh, word is he was the founder of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, is that true?
You know nothing about Captain Marsh or what went on in Innsmouth, nor do you have the right to know.
Yeah, they are maritime plans. Some of the Polynesian islands. It is said that your town was twinned with a certain island in the area. Am I wrong?
Knowledge of the history of Innsmouth belongs only to my people. You stick to your folklore like Mickey Mouse or the Marx Brothers.
Friendly chap. Nice ship. Did you build it?
It's the Sumatra Queen, one of the ships Captain Obed Marsh used on his voyages to Polynesia.
What was the purpose of those voyages?
That's none of your business.
Some of these pieces are ancient. They must be over a century old. There's a good profit to be made from this, isn't there?
They're not for sale. Nothing here is for sale.
Nothing?
Didn't you read the sign? Buy and trade only. I'm trying to recover everything that was looted from Innsmouth by law enforcement. Little by little I'm getting there, especially thanks to this crisis. Nobody has any money, least of all the pigs who took advantage of the chaos to steal what belonged to my people.
Oh, these are maps of Innsmouth. Wait a minute. That small dot on the map on the right, is that the so-called Devil's Reef?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we might be done here for now. So why don't we go and maybe check out that museum that he mentioned? That's a new spot. Didn't actually gain anything here that might help us in some of the other locations we've already visited. Alright. So we got the Museum of the Unusual.
Welcome to the Arkham Museum of the Unusual. Enter with an open mind and prepare to transform your preconceived ideas about this reality.
Reminds me of that, I forget exactly what it's called, but in Sam and Max Hit the Road, that sort of weird spot they go to where, like, things are floating around upside down. I don't know why. I think it's the music as much as anything. Professor Roman, Dove.
Oh, Roman Dvorak. Thanks to him, the museum has priceless pieces such as Eric Zann's cello. It is a pity that he's no longer with us. It's an early work by the famous Arkham painter Richard Upton Pickman.
Oh, I remember Pickman. Yeah, Pickman.
It represents our role in the immensity of the cosmic void. If you're interested in his work, there are several of his originals in the adjoining gallery.
Yeah, Pickman's model was one of the Lovecraft short stories. I do remember that one. Let's look at the rules.
You don't need to read all the rules. Simply use common sense, don't touch anything, and behave like adults.
Single admission, 75 cents. Monthly pass, $2.15. 2% discount for groups. For the price of one ticket, I go to the movies 3 times.
The movies don't offer the same sensations as this museum. This is the skull of a member of the fearsome Cho-Cho people, natives of Southeast Asia. So far, no one has been able to see them and come out alive. This is the closest you'll get to them without endangering your physical integrity. Oh, I see that the much sought-after A Treatise on Primordial Fear has caught your attention. I've received tempting offers from Miskatonic University to make it part of their collection. But what better place than here for this cursed book?
Should we just talk to him?
Detectives Foster and Whitman. May we ask a few questions, Mr.
Floyd. Raymond Floyd. Yes, of course. I'm the director of this museum. Is there a problem, detectives?
So what's the museum about?
The Arkham Museum of the Unusual aims to show visitors a reality that they're unaware of. We tend to live immersed in a life where superstition has been left behind and scientific reality is imposed on our day-to-day. We try to show, and above all, not to forget that there are unusual and strange facts that exist around us.
Does the name Benjamin Marsh ring a bell?
Oh yes, I'll remember him for the rest of my life.
We understand that the museum had a problem with him.
An unfortunate incident that should never have occurred.
Oh, what happened?
We have a gallery dedicated to the mysterious town of Innsmouth. The most outstanding piece in the collection is a figurine bearing the likeness of the primeval Cthulhu. It comes from the looting that took place in the town after the feds arrived. A unique piece.
What is a primeval?
They are deities from the depths of the cosmos. Cthulhu is one of them, worshipped by the entire population of Innsmouth.
Go on.
Marsh stormed in, claiming that the effigy belonged to his people and shouldn't be displayed in a profane place like this. I explained the museum had every right to display it, but he wouldn't listen to reason. He made his way to the gallery and smashed the protective glass. I immediately called the police and tried to prevent him from taking it. During the struggle, he stabbed me in the right eye with one of the statue's spikes. Left me blind in that eye.
Did you press charges?
Are you mad? Benjamin Marsh is a direct descendant of Obed Marsh. Do you know what that means? I didn't want any trouble with the Marshes.
Even after he blinded you?
Oh, detective, there's nothing compared to what could happen to me.
Did Marsh take the figure?
Oh, the police arrived in time to stop him. But when I refused to press charges, they decided to confiscate it as evidence in case I changed my mind.
Harvey?
I see. Well, we have it at the station. We're displaying a replica in its place. It's not ideal, as we only display originals here, but visitors are fascinated by it.
Can we see that figure?
Of course, but I've already mentioned that it's a replica. You can enter the museum if you wish, always under the supervision of our guide. Since the unfortunate incident I told you about, we've instituted a policy of constant surveillance of our visitors.
We won't try anything funny. We're police officers, remember?
The museum cannot afford to make any exceptions, detective. I trust you understand.
So the original... You don't have the original. Our colleagues took it and it's catalogued as evidence.
Exactly.
Didn't you want it back?
That would require charging Benjamin Marsh. The cure would be worse than the disease.
Where's the music coming from?
Well, we've installed an innovative music reproduction system based on magnetic media and distributed several speakers along the tour route. What you're hearing is a lute playback of Through the Cosmos by Matthew Elm. It's an ideal piece to set the mood for the visit, don't you think?
Yeah, well, we'll take a look around.
Make yourselves at home, detectives.
All right, let's go in. Where's that guide?
I believe he's coming this way.
Welcome to the Arkham Museum of the Unusual. Please step closer. My name is Horace Chambers, and I will be your guide throughout the tour. If you desire information about any of the pieces on display, I will be happy to provide it. The tour begins in this room we call the Gallery of the Damned Artists. More acquisitions will be coming soon. Tip, you can skip the guide's explanations by pressing escape. Well, I don't necessarily want to do that. We'll see what happens, I guess. These 3 disturbing canvases are by the Boston artist Richard Upton Pickman. His hyper-realistic strokes and inimitable technique have made him the most celebrated painter in his city. There are certain rumors that insinuate that the impact that these paintings exert on the observer is due to a terrifying fact. This hellish creature exists. Pickman keeps it in his home and uses that as a model, which is actually true. Well, he didn't keep it in his home, but it had like a way to get into his basement. You're looking at the work of the promising California artist Clark Ashton Smith, poet, writer, and sculptor of nightmarish figures from lost worlds. The figure is called Inhabitant of the Moon. Some claim that the image of their being came to Smith in his sleep. Did the inhabitants of our satellite reveal their appearance to him through some inconceivable telepathic method? Maybe. That's the same thing. You're looking at the nameless entity. Smith claims to have no memory of sculpting this piece. He simply woke up one morning and this disturbing sculpture was staring back at him from his workbench. Oh. Alright. If you'd be so kind as to come with me. Oh, hello. You are in the Hall of Unusual Characters. Here we find those who defied science, or who were at the center of events that would test the sanity of ordinary mortals.
Huh. Herbert West?
Friend of yours?
I was part of the raid that arrested him. It was my first assignment after I was posted here.
Alright, well, let's start with him then.
Dr. Herbert West, a modern-day Dr. Frankenstein, better known as the Butcher of Arkham. Obsessed with defeating death, he created a formula that, when injected into corpses, brought them back to life. However, the reanimation came with horrible consequences. The revived ones tended to have an animalistic behavior with homicidal tendencies. West believed this was because the formula was more effective on corpses that were more recent. He began to indiscriminately desecrate graves in Christchurch Cemetery, which led to his arrest by the authorities.
Yikes. What happened to all those revived corpses?
Oh, well, they were put down. But it is believed that those who escaped still roam Arkham.
Who's this guy?
Eric Zahn was a virtuoso German cellist who lived in seclusion in a garret on Rue d'Orsay in Paris. Every night, the tenants of the boarding house heard strange and frantic music played compulsively coming from Zahn's room. One of them befriended the musician and witnessed some terrifying events. According to his account, Zahn was stalked every night by a strange and gigantic creature that only his ghostly music kept at bay. Upon witnessing these events, the man fled the building and reported the incident to the guard. Unfortunately, they did not find Eric Zahn. In fact, they couldn't even find the Rue d'Orsay. Oh, the case of Dr. Munoz is the perfect example to illustrate this room. He contracted a severe illness in his native Barcelona. Years later, he settled in a small room in a New York boarding house. He had installed an ammonia-based cooling system that kept the room at a very low temperature in order to control his illness. However, when he saw his body begin to deteriorate with unusual speed due to a failure in the cooling system, Munoz asked the other tenants for help. He asked them for huge quantities of ice, knowing that all the stores would be closed by that hour. When they returned, they found no trace of Munoz except for a viscous puddle in the middle of the room. The doctor had left a hastily written letter. Munoz had been dead for 18 years. He had kept himself alive thanks to the cold air that preserved his tissues.
Weird. I'm not familiar with any of these stories, if they're Lovecraft or by other sort of gothic horror writers of the time. So, yeah, let me know in the comments if you're familiar with any of those, or if they're inventions of the game. I'm not sure. With the recent discovery of the 9th planet in our solar system, Pluto, we have turned our eyes to the stars. It has made us realize that we are just a speck of dust in the cosmos. We're unaware of the mysteries and dangers that await us on those worlds, just as we do not know that there are other worlds that are not aligned with our plane of existence. Expand your mind and get to know the other realities. Interestingly, I watched a very interesting YouTube video last night on Pluto, and it was discovered by someone in 1933, which is the year this game is set. So that's kind of cool. I wonder which one it is. The Earth is constantly bombarded by meteorites. Here, you can delight in admiring a select collection of fragments from other worlds. It is the closest contact that humankind can have with the immensity of the cosmos. In certain astronomical circles, there is talk of the existence of the dark and mysterious planet Yuggoth, located in the far reaches of our solar system. Several writings claim that it is inhabited by the Mi-Go, an alien race of fungi that can travel through the cosmos. What you are looking at is a depiction of its surface by French painter Antoine Girard. Again, not familiar with that story. If indeed it is a story. A press article published in July 1931 in the Astrophysical Society of America's Journal, signed by the prestigious astronomer Julius Tillinghast. The text offers a series of arguments claiming that the newly discovered planet Pluto is actually Yuggoth. Tillinghast warns us of the dangers of this planet and suggests that research on it be halted. He points out that future contact with Pluto could be devastating to the fate of mankind. Okay, curtain there. Let's keep looking in this room, because I'm not sure if that's another room to explore. The planet Pluto, the 9th in our solar system, discovered 3 years ago by astronomer Clyde William Tombaugh. That's actually the name that was given in the video I watched. It has fueled theories and expectations about the existence of extraterrestrial life. If you look down at the display case, you'll see that these theories are supported by irrefutable evidence. So in 2006, I think it was, Pluto was actually declassified from a planet to, I don't know, like just a space object or something like that. It's quite interesting, actually. For me, it will always be a planet. I was taught at school that it was the 9th planet of the solar system, so that's what I will always remember it as. Stone was found at the bottom of the Miles Standish State Forest swamp. It was part of a meteorite that originated on the planet Pluto. Scientists were amazed to find that despite stellar erosion, there were unnatural carvings visible on the rock. This rock could be part of an artificial structure on Pluto. In other words, the 9th planet of our solar system is, or was, inhabited. This is the first material evidence of extraterrestrial life. Amazed? Randolph Carter. This young man claims to travel to strange worlds without moving from the spot through his dreams. The accounts of his travels to the unknown Kadath or the dangerous Dilathleen are so detailed and realistic that some have dismissed their being a mere invention. Carter is scheduled to undergo an exhaustive scientific examination next month by Miskatonic University in order to confirm his claims. Alright, let's see what's in here.
What's in here?
In 1927, hundreds of witnesses saw an anomaly directly above the Empire State Building in New York. From their statements, it was deduced to be a dimensional breach. They were witnesses who could see through a point in the cosmos that did not correspond to our own. What you'll see behind that curtain is a recreation of what happened that day. It was created by Willis O'Brien, who was in charge of the special effects for the hit movie King Kong. As you can see, the museum has spared no expense.
Should we take a look? Aye, why not? I'm curious. I can't see shit. It's about to start. Didn't I be impatient?
I'm not going to press escape. Let's watch it. The Arkham Museum of the Unusual presents a dimensional gap. Okay. A little blimp going past. Oh, hello. I imagine this is another sci-fi story from the time. Because this didn't actually happen. The end. Okay. Well, I'm not familiar with the story in which that happened. Well, what did you think?
Magnificent special effects.
Well, I suppose for 1930 it would be. Okay, let's go to the next room.
This room is dedicated to the enigmatic town of Innsmouth. Its characteristic secrecy has not been an obstacle for the Arkham Museum of the Unusual to provide you with all the information about it. The museum would like to thank Zadok Allen for his collaboration in the making of this room. Alright, let's have a look. The Devil's Reef. Located 1.5 miles from Innsmouth Harbour, it is, or rather was, the place where Captain Obed Marsh hid the strange creatures he brought with him from the South Seas in his caves. Thanks to an eyewitness account, the federal government took action and torpedoed the base of the reef with submarines, putting an end to the bloody alliance between the creatures and the inhabitants of Innsmouth. However, it is said that the network of caves on the islet extends to abyssal depths, and that those beings are still there. Is that Marsh? Captain Obed Marsh. In the middle of the last century, Innsmouth was going through a crisis that reduced all its fishing activity and plunged its inhabitants into absolute poverty. On one of his chartered voyages to the South Seas, he discovered a small village on one of the islands, where strange amphibious creatures were worshipped, offering gold and abundant fish in exchange for human sacrifices. Marsh brought these creatures with him and hid them on the Devil's Reef, which you can see on the left. The town flourished again in its golden years, and the inhabitants of Innsmouth embraced the claims and beliefs of those beings, and even mixed their blood. Those who opposed this diabolical alliance were purged, leaving the town inhabited only by those akin to the creatures and their strange offspring. You may have seen other portraits of the captain with a more, shall we say, conventional appearance. But this is his true countenance, the result of his close relationship with these creatures of the underworld, at least in the last years of his life. There you have a news item from the Arkham Advertiser of February 1928. It recounts the secret investigation that federal government agents carried out in Innsmouth. Raids and arrests were carried out, and numerous houses and factories were blown up. The article also mentions that most of those arrested ended up in prison or concentration camps. Weeks after this news broke, it became known that many of them had escaped from these facilities. The inhabitants of Innsmouth profess no orthodox religion. Their god is Cthulhu, whose representation you can see in the central part of the room, and their church is the Esoteric Order of Dagon. This ancient tablet with its carved emblem was found among the ruins of the old Masonic Lodge on New Church Green, where the order was installed. And then we've got another painting. The current inhabitants of Innsmouth, descendants of the blasphemous hybridization between species, undergo a metamorphosis throughout their lives. It is not so noticeable in the young, but it is in those of advanced age. Once they reach middle age and their appearance resembles that of the creatures found by Obed Marsh, they feel the call of the sea, and there they begin a new and immortal life dedicated to the worship of their god, the great primeval god, Cthulhu. Alright, let's look at this statue then. So this is the replica. The great old one, Cthulhu. This cosmic entity is secretly worshipped by the vast majority of Innsmouth's inhabitants. It is said to lie dreaming in the sunken city of Relay, waiting for the day when it will be freed to reign over the earth once more. You are looking at a replica, by the way. Until recently, we exhibited the original found during the Innsmouth raids. A minor incident deprived us of it. We hope to someday show it to the public again. Alright, interesting stuff. Okay. That room exclusively houses the infamous painting The Faces of Madness by Francis Held.
Why isn't it in the first room with the others?
The museum had to relocate the piece because...
Because what?
Oh, well, let's go inside and I'll explain. It is a fascinating story. Come with me.
Alright.
Francis Holt was a promising German painter whose interest in the dark arts became an obsession. Concerned about the young man's mental health, his family committed him to an asylum where he spent the rest of his life. It is known from his writings that he continued his studies in arcane magic there. The painting behind this curtain, The Faces of Madness, is the result of merging that magic with his art. Why Holt did this is unknown. What is known for certain is that viewing this painting can affect the observer.
In what way?
Paranoia, depression, anger. Each person reacts differently when exposed to the painting. We were convinced that the stories about this work were mere exaggerations, but when we showed it to the public, we realized that everything that was said was true.
I'm intrigued. Can we see it?
Management has decided not to exhibit it until further notice. We've had some problems with some visitors.
We are not just visitors. Pull out the card and let's see it. We won't tell anyone.
I'm not authorized to do so, sir. I don't even have the piece to activate the mechanism that moves the curtain.
Bummer. I was curious about this story.
Okay, well, it looks like we could perhaps, should I put the letter opener in there?
Doesn't fit. Let's have a look. The mechanism is missing a piece.
Okay, I don't really have a lot that could potentially do that. Let's have a look at the plaque.
The Faces of Madness. Francis Hould, 1876.
Alright, well, I guess we leave for now. I kind of just want to go back to the beginning, really. We'll talk to the director again on our way out in case there's any new dialogue or anything like that. That's pretty interesting, though. Some Lovecraftian lore and stuff. Leaving already? Come back any time. Alright, yeah, let's have another quick chat with him. Oh yeah.
We would like to see Francis Hould's painting.
The Faces of Madness. I'm afraid that won't be possible. The painting has upset many visitors lately. Some have even had violent reactions that have caused us problems. I've decided not to show it to the public for the time being while I consider what to do with it. I'm sorry I can't oblige.
Okay. Well, let's head out for now, because it's given me a reason to go to that evidence room at the police station, I think. We do need this guy's coin as well. I'm just going to use this stuff on it just in case any of it is useful. Should we threaten him with a gun? I wonder if now that we've got Whitman with us, whether this coin trick might be different. Hey, Foster.
Let's see if my luck's any better this time.
Guess the hand and the coin's yours. Ready? Alright, where's the coin? Left hand. Oh, right. Now, I can't use inventory items. I don't think there's any, like... Ah, you missed. Some detective you are.
Jack.
What's going on?
He's palming it in his sleeve.
What?
The coin, he keeps it in his sleeve.
Alright, let's try again. Yeah, Foster.
Let's see if my luck's any better this time.
Guess the hand and the coin's yours. Ready? Alright, where's the coin? Left hand. Oh, right. I mean, which sleeve is it likely to be? Probably the lower one?
Neither. It's up your sleeve.
Ah, Whitman tipped you off, huh? Hey, you. Think you're clever, huh?
What?
You never open your mouth, and when you do, it's to screw me over.
It wasn't a fair game. There was no chance to win.
That was the goddamn point, you idiot.
Hey, Archer. You're out of line.
Do you know who you're working with? Whitman's nothing but a bookworm. He'll ditch you the second things get rough.
I don't know about that. What I do know is that you owe me a coin.
Fuck it, you want your coin? Here's your blasted coin. Cool. Okay, well, we can get that newspaper now, which will open up a new location for us. So that's good. Mark my words, Foster. This guy's gonna leave you high and dry.
Well, that was awkward.
Is that true?
What?
He hinted that you have no street experience.
Of course I do. Most of my work is done in the office, but I assist my colleagues if my presence is required.
Then why did Archer say it?
I dinna ken. I guess like you, I'm not very popular with my colleagues. But I promise you I'll rise to the occasion. I'll cover you when I have to, and I'll be there when you need me.
Are you sure?
You should trust what I'm telling you. You're my partner.
I know Archer's been saying I belong in the loony bin, and he's one of the ones who blames me for what happened to Mac. And when he saw me, the son of the bitch didn't have the guts to say it to my face. You better be up to it out there, Harvey.
I will. Dinna worry about it.
Let's move.
Alright, so we're going to go to the evidence room now.
So I have a feeling we're going to want that genuine statue of Cthulhu. What do we got? Our new president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The so-called experts think he'll pull us out of this whole mess. So who'd you pull the lever for in the last election?
The vote is secret.
Figured. Socialist Party of America, huh? They say water is supposed to be odorless, colorless, and tasteless. This one smells awful. It's a greenish color and tastes like hell. Does it come straight from the Arkham River or what? Wonder if can we add that to our horrible oily blob? Yeah. What about the sandwich? Yeah, we'll leave that for now. The department's proud display of its greatest hits, straight from the pages of the Arkham Advertiser. That's the evidence storage room. What's over here, though? Nada. Why are you closing?
What?
What's that smell? Greasy and delicious. Hello? Wilbur? How's it going, Wilbur?
I can't complain. I mean, of course I can, but at least I have a job. And I pray it stays that way. By the way, hey, sorry about Mac.
Yeah, well, what kind of feast are you guys having back there?
Oh, smells good, huh? It's some hot dogs from a guy with a stand over at Long Park. By the way, I saw Frank the Worm there. Word is he's on Mayor Bradley's campaign now. He sends his regards.
That he's part of the campaign team? That rat's up to something.
He's reformed.
I'll believe it when I see it. I think I'll swing by. Something about this stinks.
Okay, new location. That's good. Alright. Bucket of water.
This joint's leaking like a sieve. One of these days we're gonna have to swim out of this dump.
Oh, we got the bucket. Hurrah! I'm sure that'll be useful.
Why would you take a bucket of water?
Why wouldn't I?
I mean, yeah. Can I mix that with the horrid... Yeah, I mean, they still don't want to get that stuff wet. I wonder why I opened these sardines. What's these?
These are entry forms for registering evidence.
If you want to log evidence, you fill out a form first.
I don't want to log evidence. But can we ask to see the Cthulhu statue?
What do you know about a figure that was seized from a museum?
Oh, yes, we got it here. Some Innsmouth fella used it to gouge out the museum owner's eye. It's savages, those inbred yokels, huh? Strange enough, the guy didn't press charges. You know what? If it were up to me, I'd send all that rabble back to that godforsaken town they should never have left. We've got enough problems in Arkham without having to put up with those toad faces.
Could I see the figure?
No, you can't. It's not your case, Foster.
I know it's not my case, but that figure is related to our investigation.
You can file to examine it. Just fill it out and get it stamped by the department.
Cut the red tape, will ya?
I don't make the rules, sorry.
Just a quick look, that's all.
They'd throw me out on the street if they found out. What am I supposed to do at 48 with no job? Starve on the street like everybody else? No thanks.
Don't insist, Jack. Wilbur would risk his job if he agreed to your request.
See? Thanks, Whitman.
Whose side are you on anyway?
Do you want the application or not?
Yes, I've got no choice.
Wait here.
How about you button it for a minute?
We're police officers. We got to follow the rules.
Here you go. I filled it out for you.
How thoughtful.
Get the official Arkham PD seal on it, then you can examine the piece.
Alright. Well, I do know where there is a seal. It's in the psychiatrist's office. And the bucket of water actually may be useful for waking... Maybe we could just throw the bucket of water in that guy's face. Wake him up that way. Maybe we'll go try that. Let's get the newspaper first, though.
What the hell?
There's something in the slot that's stopping me from inserting the coin.
So the rumours are true.
Rumors? What rumors?
A couple of weeks ago, Mayor Bradley revoked the Miskatonic Herald's license to sell through these machines. I guess he did it in a fit of rage over the article linking him to the Ku Klux Klan.
I doubt very much that it's legal.
Get to the point.
Rumour has it that the Herald is sending its peddlers to sabotage the Arkham advertiser machines.
Well, the Fourth Estate Wars have just screwed us over.
Can I ram something in there to...
I hope I can get the gum out with the letter opener. I think this'll do the trick. I'm a resourceful man.
Okay, cool, let's try again. Aha. The renowned parapsychologist Philip Moore visits Arkham. Fans of mystery and the supernatural are in luck, as the famous British popularizer of these topics will visit our city on his North American tour to present his new book, Spontaneous Human Combustion, a Reality. The gathering with his readers will take place tonight at the esoteric bookstore, the Ishtar Gate, where, in addition to signing copies, he will give a lecture on the book's chilling subject. The bookstore has decided to limit attendance at the event. Leading scholars on the subject and a small but select group of journalists will form the core of the lucky guests invited to the event. However, several cutout invitations have been made available to the general public and can be found in the pages of this month's issue of Strange Eons magazine. Okay, so I might need to get hold of that magazine. At 25 years of age and following in the footsteps of his father Patrick Moore... Oh, that's a bracket. A pioneer in metapsychic research. Now, Patrick Moore is actually a very famous English astronomer. He's Sir Patrick Moore. He might have died. He lived to be very old, though. He has become one of the most famous popularizers of paranormal phenomena thanks to his successful books such as The Visitors and Behind the Veil, which recount the investigations carried out in his native England. Walter Block, a correspondent for this newspaper, will attend the event to interview Philip Moore about these strange and unusual events that cause some people to be reduced to ashes without any apparent external source of ignition. Tomorrow we invite our readers to discover the mysteries of spontaneous human combustion from one of its greatest experts. The smoothness of an what is that? Oh, what does that say? The smoothness of a... The economy of a... I think it's supposed to be 8, but the I has sort of got moved onto the E. The smoothness of a 8, the economy of a 4. I don't get what that means. Okay. Philip Moore, that's our man.
The Ishtar Gate, ring a bell?
Aye, esoteric bookstore. It's on Vice Street. Alright, let's head up to the psychologist's office. Now, first thing I'm going to try is stamping the form with that seal. She'll probably stop me. Please don't touch my things. So now I'm going to throw a bucket of water in that guy's face.
Time to wake up, buddy.
Mr. Foster, for God's sake! Oh, I think I'm... Oh, how embarrassing. I must have dozed off. How did the hypnosis session go, Dr. Strider?
Hey, knock it off, will you? The doc charges by the hour and you're already wasted half your paychecks passed out on the couch. So stop wasting everyone's time and go sleep it off at home.
I was just asking the doctor if...
Beat it.
Yeah, sure,
On your way. Alright, can we talk now?
May I ask why you treat my patients that way?
Figured I was doing you a favor by freeing you from Sleeping Beauty.
What brings you here, Mr. Foster? You didn't have an appointment today.
I need your stamp on my psych report. I'll finally be treated like a sane person at headquarters and you'll never have to see me again. As you can see, it's a win-win, and it'll only take a minute.
We already discussed this, Mr. Foster. You came here with severe psychotic symptoms resulting from a traumatic experience. The sessions we've had over the past few months have been a success. There is no trace of paranoia in you, and as far as I'm concerned, you're fit for duty.
Then we're done talking.
However...
So stamp the report for me.
However... Your superiors want to know exactly what happened on the night that the traumatic episode unfolded. Your story doesn't hold up.
I told you and everyone else. I know what I saw, and I'm not reliving it under your damn regression. You want another version of events? Fine, I'll sing whatever tune you like.
You believe you know what you saw. When experiencing a traumatic episode, our brain tends to fabricate other types of memories to psychologically mitigate the facts. It's a defense mechanism, so to speak.
Are we going to come back to this over and over again?
Listen, Mr. Foster. No one, not even your superiors, blames you for Detective McCarthy's death. They just want to know what happened that night. You can't provide reliable facts. You're suffering from a traumatic block. I know you're afraid of reliving the experience, and I understand that. But I want to make this very clear. Without regression therapy, I cannot seal the report. So I leave the decision up to you.
Maybe we should just do it, huh?
Ready to undergo regression therapy, Mr. Foster?
I think we should just do it. Alright, I'll do it. The last thing I need is to be kicked off the force for not submitting to the charade.
You've made the right decision, Mr. Foster. Do you mind waiting outside, Dr. Whitman?
Of course.
Harvey stays. If this shit blows my fuse again, I want a badge in the room. It's for your safety, Doc. All clear, Harvey?
Aye.
Should we begin?
Lie down on the couch, please. Are you comfortable?
This is a waste of time, Doc. But if you think this method is infallible to get the truth out of me, go ahead. My story won't be any different than the one I've told you over and over again.
You'll see that it is. Try to relax. Breathe slowly. That's right. Every time I pause, you will take a breath and exhale slowly. Now, concentrate on my voice. Pick a point on the horizon and focus on it. Forget about everything around you. Keep breathing slowly. Can you see how the room is fading away?
Yes.
Don't be alarmed, it's normal. The darkness will surround us and you will only be able to hear my voice. Keep breathing slowly and try not to blink. I want your mind to travel back to the night of September 7th last year. Try to remember in detail what happened. Little by little you will fall asleep. Don't resist. Let yourself go. Sleep. Now your mind is traveling through space and time. You and your partner, Detective Samuel McCarthy, are investigating an illegal shipment of alcohol on the docks of Ark Harbor. Can you see the docks, Mr. Foster?
Yes. Jules, delicious canned food since 1876. You can see the ship from here, and they're unloading.
Jules Canned Foods. You know who paid for his education by working here?
Who?
Fred Clayton.
The lawyer? He should have stuck to packing sardines. Has that man ever won a case?
Oh, you like this one, Jack. Remember Manny Santana?
Yeah, that son of a bitch we put away for killing his wife.
Yeah, well, a few days ago, Fred Clayton went to see him in prison. How's the case going, Counselor? Santana asks. Oh, very well. We got Raymond Corby, a judge known for being lenient. And the jury? A fine jury, several Hispanics on it. Should work in your favor, Clayton says. So, any advice for the trial? And Clayton answers, if you could escape from prison, all the better.
Oh, come on, seriously?
Straight as I heard it.
I see movement. There are a couple of them watching the dock. I'll take a look.
You shouldn't go alone. Let me tag along and cover you.
No need, Mac. We just need the name of the ship that brought the cargo. I can handle that solo. We'll draw more eyes if we go together.
I got a bad feeling about tonight, Jack. Feels like something terrible's gonna happen.
We're cops, Mac. In Arkham. Terrible things can always happen in this town. Keep your eye on that dock, alright? More smugglers could show up. If things get ugly, come give me a hand. Alright, so we're actually in like an interactive section. That's cool. I'm tempted to actually leave it here for this time, and we'll come back next time and kind of head into this new scene, this kind of flashback as to what happened, leading to Jack's breakdown and Mac's death, apparently.
yeah, look forward to finding out more about that. But thanks very much for watching this episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed going through that museum and having some Lovecraftian lore and little weird hints at the cosmic horrors to come. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be glad to hear those. And if you've enjoyed the episode, if you could hit the thumbs up button as well, that'd be awesome. But thanks very much. And thanks also to our channel members for supporting Boring Dad Gaming. Continues to be hugely appreciated. And if anyone else is interested in checking out channel memberships and gaining earlier access to my videos, that'd be awesome as well. But thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.